Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So in today's video we will be looking at the entire portfolio. This is something that I haven't done for the last 2 months, and the reason was because there was a lot going on, haven't had the time to do this. So I'm going to show you guys what I have been doing, the dividends that I've received, all the buys, all the sales, and it's been I've done quite a bit of change since I did it like a whole full portfolio basically about 2 months ago. So yeah, stay tuned for till the end of the video to see all the buys and sales, but we're going to start all the dividend income first, and then we're going to talk about individual stocks that I have added to, or brand new ones, and the ones that I've sold. And then at the end of the video I've got about almost £300 to invest, so I will be investing that today, inshallah. So as always, if you are new here, first of all, welcome. If you are existing community member, I just want to say thank you for basically tuning in week in, week out. If you can press that like button, that really genuinely helps the channel, and we can reach out more brothers and sisters, and share with your community, share with a few family and friends the videos, inshallah. My goal here is to help as many people as I possibly can, especially around now when the markets are not doing great. I just want to tell you a couple of things about myself, and just tell you where this portfolio is heading, because this is probably one of the most difficult times to invest for new investors. But the people who've been around, this is probably one of the easiest and the best time to invest it, like if you like in this in the stock market, if you like. First of all, my name is Mahmoud. I'm 27. I've got 2 kids. Everything you see right in front of you is money that I literally worked hard for week in, week out. And basically I don't like losing money, and for that reason I always make sure I'm buying high quality businesses that I've done a lot of research on and so on. And 2021, or was it 2020, I decided to start this whole YouTube thing so I can share with the community what I'm doing, because at the time there was nobody out there that was doing Shariah-compliant investing sort of a thing, where there were being there was no one out there that was being transparent about what they were buying and what they were selling. There were people on YouTube that wanted for me to sign up for courses and things like that, but there was no transparency. And I've signed up for 1 or 2, didn't like it, because you ask questions or whatever. It wasn't great. So I said, you know what, let me just be honest and transparent and just share everything with the community. If you go literally open my YouTube and go back to the first video, one thing you will notice is since then I have been sharing this portfolio. Every single month I do an entire portfolio update, and I've always said what I'm buying, what I'm selling. I've made mistakes, I've made some good money as well in the long run. So alhamdulillah, it's been a very, very good journey for me, alhamdulillah. And over that period of time I've made about £6,618 in dividends. I've made, I think, closer to £10,000, about 980 something pounds, £9,860 in basically capital gains. And also that basically might deduct from basically all the money that I've lost. So still made 10,000. So I'm basically talking about over a period of 4 or 5 years, made about £16,000. And as you can see right now, the portfolio is up about 4%, 5%. That's about £5,000. And basically about 3 months ago, the entire portfolio, I think it was, let's go back for 1 year and I'll show you when it actually hit. I think it was 11th of February or whatever it was about £24,000 basically. Since then, because of course the entire market has come down a lot, and basically we lost quite a bit of money. But when you look at it basically just for the last let's even say for the last 1 month, we're still down about basically 4%, which is absolutely fine. So I don't really care the fluctuation of the prices. When things go down, I buy more of it, because I am a long-term investor. This portfolio is my retirement, inshallah. In the long run, I'm gonna try, I've got a target to meet, and every single basically year I'm gonna try my best to invest like £20,000, which is basically my ISA account allowance. So yeah, we'll see what happens. That's the goal. The goal is to have a passive income from my property, as well as of course this portfolio, to live off, inshallah, in a low cost country far away from the UK, inshallah. and see how it goes, see whatever happens. So anyway, that is the long-term plan. This is where we are now. I'm gonna go over the companies but that paid me this month, how much they paid me, and then we're going to talk about, of course, all the buys and sales. But before we do, like I've always said to you guys, please don't worry about the stock market. Generally, if you are a long-term investor, this is a great opportunity for us to buy high quality businesses. Like for example, today everything is up. Yesterday quite a few companies were up, and basically this week things have been up. Last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so you know how it's been all red every single day. People were worried about, and now again people are talking about it today and just, oh yeah, the stock is up this much percent or whatever. I don't really care about these things. The day-to-day fluctuation of prices should not bother you. Let's get started on the dividends first. So yeah, I'm going to do things slightly different. I'm going to give you a lot of information for each company. You can pause the video and yeah, have a look at it first. First one we're talking about today is automatic data processing. This is one of my, probably I've had this company I think over 3 years now, and as you can see, I've invested over £5,530. A year to date, basically at the time of recording, it was up about 1%. Dividend yield, basically we're looking at for year to date, by the way, that's 1%, and then your dividend is just over 2%, which is really nice. They paid me £25.35 for basically 25 shares. I think it is 25 shares that I own of this company, but it's about over £5,000, which is quite nice. And you can see here that is basically up 1% for the year. The next one is Canadian Natural Resources. This is sort of a new, I think it's been about a year and a bit maybe, is in the portfolios, down about over 8% year to date. As you can see, I've got through almost to £3,500. Is one of the companies I'm still buying. High dividend yield. Again, this is of course, oil company. Energy companies pay high dividends, and for that reason they are in the portfolio for that reason, and hopefully price appreciation as well. But the dividends is why they're here. I'm not chasing a yield right now, to be fair, but I don't mind having that income just so I can reinvest it back into this company, which I will be doing. So all the money that I have received for this month, plus a little bit more, I will be reinvesting back into the portfolio, which is really good. And that's what I want to do. I want to get money from these companies and reinvest into the same companies or different companies to build that compound effect, inshallah, in the long run. So they paid me closer to £33, which is quite nice. The next one is Novo Nordisk. This is a newish company. I think I've only started buying about a month and a half ago or so. A year to date is down about 24%. Is one of the worst ones. As I record this video today, I think it's up 4 or 5% for whatever reason. I haven't looked at the reason why. I've got about over £4,000, which is quite nice. I'm not done buying yet. I'm gonna buy one share of this company weekly for the next whatever months to get to at least 100 shares. Right now I've got 80 shares. I'll share with you guys at the end of the video, and you can see it's basically right now it's got 3.5% dividend yield, which is very high for this company, and they paid me over 20 basically pounds, which is quite nice. Next one is Merck, probably one of the best ones that I've had in my portfolio for a very, very long time. I think this is probably one of the oldest companies in my portfolio. This one, Qualcomm, and a few others where they're like from the beginning, if you like, so about 4 or 5 years now. Closer to £4,000. I am buying still, down about 15%, which is quite nice. Dividend yield of 3.8, probably one of the highest I've seen since I started buying this company. They paid me £16.66. The next one is CubeSmart. This one is another kind of newish, if you like. It's about 3 months maybe or so. £3,000 invested so far, down about 8% basically since the beginning of the year. Dividend yield of 5.29. Again, another dividend play, if you like. I like the REITs, and REITs are real estate investment trust, and mainly I buy them for the dividends, and then hopefully I can reinvest that back into the portfolio. And in the long run, I'm just going to hold these companies and see what happens with them. They paid me closer to £30, which is very, very nice. And as you can see, they down quite a bit, so I'm still buying a bit here and there. Next one is Salesforce. They started their dividend journey very recently, and I've got £2,671 invested in this portfolio, and I also own it in the family portfolio as well, down about over 20% right now. Dividend yield very, very low, which is fine. This is not a dividend play. This is more high growth company, and I'm going to hold on to this for a long time. Like I've always said in every single video, this is the Microsoft of the future. We will see what happens, but they paid me £3.20, which is absolutely 20 pence, which is absolutely fine. The next one is EOG Resources. This is an oil company again, £3,882 invested, down about 8%. Dividend yield right now is 3.45, and basic dividend received so far is £24. This month is £24.76. By the way, if you haven't pressed that like button and you like what you see here, please, press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, as always, like I've said to you guys, it takes a lot of time and effort to put these videos together. I'm doing just to help the community. If you can share with your family and friends, that would be absolutely amazing. Right, so that's the next one. And we've got next one in Mid-America Apartment Communities. Again, another REIT, closer to £5,000 invested so far. I'm still buying this company. I'm not done with it yet. It was up about 2% at the time of recording. Dividend yield is basically 3.85, which is very good. Dividend received so far this month, for example, £19.25. And as you can see, like I said, it's about basically up about 2%. So this is probably one of the only companies that are up in my portfolio for basically for the last since the beginning of the year. Next one is Rio Tinto, and this was a big one. Look at how much they paid me, £228. Let's call it 229. Now, I've always said this company is in this portfolio for two reasons: the price appreciation or the capital gains, as well as the dividends, because this company does well over a period of time. Now, one of the things I've noticed lately has been very, very cyclical, and this is normal. This is normal for this company, and because of the terrorism, what's happening in China and so on, it does affect because they operate in all around the world. So they are probably one of the companies that will be affected. So the price has come down quite a bit, about 7%, and it's really nice to see that, because I'm ready to buy more, because I think I'm down a few percentages, so potentially I will be buying more of this company in the next few months. But £229 is very much is a lot, and I really like that. And that this money now I can reinvest it back into the portfolio to build that compound. Okay, and if I was in retirement right now, that would go a long way, but I am not, so I'm going to just reinvest that back into the portfolio to build that compounding, like I said. Right, so that's all the companies that paid me. So the total amount that I've received so far basically this month was 442 pence. Like, that is a lot for me. That's closer to getting my rental income, which is over what, 500 something. Okay, and that worked out $535 US, which is absolutely amazing. Now, like I've always said to you guys, it's not about just receiving the dividends right now. It's more about that dividend appreciation in the long run. So that's why I'm buying companies that increase that dividend year after year for a very long time. But at the same time, to receive over £400 in 1 month, that is really good, because that shows me if I was focusing on just dividends, I could potentially be making more than that, which is basically my goal, which is basically to retire hopefully at some point and receive a consistent income from this portfolio plus my property, and then live off with that money, the basis of that money. So that's the long-term plan. And when I see something like this, it makes me very happy, because that means whatever I'm doing right now is working. Let's see what happens. But remember, some months is higher, some months is lower. March is one of the higher ones, and then I think September is the next one. Is June or September is one of the big ones as well, and then December of next year. September is definitely the biggest one, because a lot of the companies that I own do pay in September. So let's see what happens. Overall, this is basically what I've received for this month. I'm really happy with that. Now I'm going to show you overall how much I've received in terms of passive income. So the rental income plus the dividends, add the two together, £502 from my rental property. I do have a one bedroom apartment in Leicester that is rented, basically cash paid. So I bought it in 2022, I think it was, and that was paid in cash. And since basically I bought this property, has been giving me over closer to £500 over the last basically over the last 3 years, which is absolutely amazing. And top of that now, so plus the dividends, when you add the two together, I basically received over basically £900. That's a lot of money. That's absolutely a lot of money. And if I can continue to do this, if I can get, another, maybe in the next 10 years plus, if I can make £2,000 a month or more, then I'm very, very happy. That will make me very happy. And as you can see, in terms of USD, we're looking about over 1,200 US dollars. So next I'm going to show you what I've received in dividends. So yearly dividend received since I started this entire portfolio. This was 2020. So I started this portfolio May of 2020. Since then, every single year the dividend has been increasing. So last year the target to beat this year is £1,894. So right now we're in £877. Okay, and we are what now, beginning of May. So today is the first day of May, I think, or yesterday, whatever it was, right? So beginning of May, and we still have a long way to go, but I'm very confident that we can beat that £2,000 target that I made at the beginning of the year. Let's see what happens, inshallah. If I can beat those £2,000, then that will be absolutely amazing. So we can just continue to compound, and I'm hope that this continues basically going up every single year for the next at least 10 plus years. Guys, this is why it's important. This is why I started sharing this whole thing, because when you see something like this and you can see it is working every single year, it's going up. It gives you basically a clear focus on what your goals are. Buying and selling every week is not going to work for you. What will work for you in the long run is that consistency, and you have a plan. Your plan can change, things can change, and I'm going to show you in a second. I've made some sales this month, okay, basically the last 2 months. So plans can change, but the most important thing is the main focus is the long-term whatever income or whatever you're looking for. Okay, right, let me show you the sales. I've sold 15 shares of Broadcom, and it's not because there's something wrong with the company. I was up of over 300, closer to 400 basically percent, and the markets were going down. So about 11%, basically 11th of April, I've sold 15 shares and I made 1,500, which I took and then reinvested into other companies, which I will share with you guys. I've sold Western Management around that time, made about £32. It was only 5 shares. I couldn't buy more of this company because it seemed overvalued. It hasn't done anything for me for the last whatever. The dividend is very low, but it's a dividend growth company. I really like the company, but I need to buy it in more attractive time. So for now, I'm going to leave it alone and come back to it maybe. The next one is exactly similar situation, is basically Lint. This is one of the companies that have not done much over the last whatever basically years. I think it's been in the portfolio for 2 years. It seems fully valued every time I look at it. I can't buy more of it. It hasn't come down. It stayed consistent. Dividend is also 1 point something, quite low, which is fine, but it's a dividend growth company. Again, I would love to buy this. If the market continues to tank and it goes down maybe 10%, both of them, you will definitely see them in the portfolio, because I really like the business models, but it's just the fact that I couldn't buy more of them, and holding on to them right now made no sense, because there were other companies that were way cheaper that I could make more money. So sometimes you have to do these things that are called opportunity cost. So that's basically what it was. Sold these two to make way for basically buying like a high quality businesses, similar sort of companies that are slightly cheaper right now, in my opinion. Okay, so that made about £300. So again, overall between basically the three, I made closer to £2,000 in profit, which is absolutely amazing, right? Next, we bought a lot. I bought a lot first, basically. So you can pause the video and have a look at it, but I'm just going to give you the highlight. Merck, I bought 20 shares and also another 4 shares here. So 24 shares over the period of time, basically about period of 2 months, if you like. Novo, for example, I bought a lot of 40 shares here. I bought, where is it again? Here we go, 4 shares there and 5 shares there. So I bought about 50 shares of that company in just basically the last couple of months. Right now, I think I'm on 80 shares. Like I said, I'm going to try to get to 100 shares and then leave it alone. I bought a little bit of everything else, but the majority of that money went to these main ones. So Merck, for example, was quite a lot. And also bought 1 share of ASML when it actually went down quite a lot. And the new position is Nvidia. So I bought 15 shares there. Since then, I've added another 10 shares. Right now, my average is, let's call it £80 or $102, and up about 7.8%. I really like the company. Of course, who doesn't like Nvidia? So I'm going to leave it alone. And if I see it dip below, say 100, maybe if it hits 95 or so, then I'll buy more. And this company can go up, very volatile company, could go up 5-6% each day on each side. So I'm going to continue holding on to this and potentially add more. If I can get, say, I don't know, 50 shares plus in the next few months or whatever, then that will be really good, because I want to keep this for a long term. Remember, I'm trying to build a portfolio of companies that have pay dividends. This company does not pay a lot of dividends, very low, but it's the price appreciation. So I want to have that growth in the portfolio as well as, of course, the dividend side of things. So you can pause the video, have a look at it, but this is Nvidia, that 5 shares there plus the 10 shares I've bought since. That's my average overall. So you can pause the video and have a look at all of this. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. So let me do a quick buys. And the company that I'm planning to add to today is Union Pacific, company that has been in the portfolio quite some time. And if we look at, for example, using Fast Track, if we use Fast Graph, if you look at the forecasting for moving forward for this company, the normal PE has been about 15, but for this company, but normal PE has been about 15, so that gives us about 2% upside from where we are. And the normal PE with this company has been about 22. That will give us about 18, basically total annualized rate of return of about 18-19% in the next 3 years. So what I'm going to do now is go back here and look for the company. So this is, by the way, everything looks green today. As you can see, this is the company. So I'm gonna buy, we've got, how much do we have? About 9, basically closer to £300. So a lot of that came from that dividends that I was talking about earlier. This will now buy 1.8 shares of this company. Before I do that, let me show you, I've got 26.5 shares. So you can see that. Let's just go and buy whatever we've got. So press that button and send it to the market. My average basically was 105 shares, 205 basically dollars. So now it's gone up about 206, which is absolutely fine. So that's why I want to get to at least 30 shares and leave it alone. And you've heard me say this quite a lot, like I want to get to 30 shares of this company for a long time. Now it has come down quite a bit. So what I'm going to do, inshallah, just buy a couple of more shares in the next couple of days and then leave it alone for a while and see what basically how it performs overall. There you go. So that's what I want to share with you guys. This is my entire portfolio. It goes up and down every single week, but the most important thing for me is basically the long-term trajectory of this portfolio. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you like this type of content. I hope you enjoying the transparency as well. If you are, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your family and friends. Let me know if you have any questions. Assalamu Alaikum.